Hi, I'm Caryn Azemoun. I'm a professional certified coach. I'm certified as a positive discipline parent educator, and I'm certified in parenting with insight. But my greatest pride is that I'm a mom of two teens that still talk to me. I'm here today to talk to you about getting your child ready for school. There's a few topics that come up when I work with parents of children of all ages that I'd like to cover. It's advocating for yourself, making friends, building routines, and how you could really show up for your child. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about advocating for themselves. Our children need to learn how to speak up for themselves, to have a confidence, to really have their voices heard. So as parents, one of the things that we could do is really talk to them about what it feels like, what fair feels like, so that if the teacher marks them wrong on something, but they felt that they should be right, how do they go up and talk about it? If somebody is bothering them, how do they go share that information with an adult, a teacher, or somebody in the office? Do they know who to talk to? Do they know what to say? What's the appropriate way of handling the situation? Do they have the confidence? Is there a part of it that they want you to get involved in? And what's that role that they want you to play? So when you're talking to your child, and it's good to have a conversation about talking to your child about advocation and how they can advocate for themselves, practice some of these things at home, role play some situations, see what works for them, what they're comfortable doing. They might not always be comfortable speaking up to one particular teacher, but they really like the woman in the office, or they like the social worker, but not the guidance counselor. So talk to them about who they could talk to. Having these activities and trying it out at home in a safe environment really empowers them and gives them an opportunity to try things out, to see what they can achieve, to help them grow in confidence and, like I said, finding their voice. Another topic that comes up is making friends. So maybe your child is joining a new school, maybe they're switching grades. They're going to be with people they haven't always been with, and relationships change along the way. So talking to your child and helping them understand what a good friend is for them. You know, if somebody is trying to convince them to do something that they're uncomfortable with, does that constitute a good friend? Is that the kind of person that they want to be hanging out with? So use examples of people that they feel might be a good friend and help them build that, like, that right friend for them. And then give them wording and give them opportunity to learn how to get themselves out of a situation, and opportunities, and allow them to learn how to put themselves into a situation. If there's somebody they think they want to be friends with, how do you start a friendship? How do you invite somebody to sit in the lunchroom with you? How do you ask somebody if they want to kind of kick a ball around after school? So again, I know I said role play last time. I'm going to say it again. Talk through them of what kind of people they want in their lives, what role these people are going to play in their lives, and also express to them that there are different types of friends. You know, there might be like the sports friend or the study friend or the home friend or the school friend. My son used to have the outdoor friend and the indoor friend. So the indoor friend was the one he was going to play video games with, and the outdoor friend was the one he was going to go on the trampoline and run around with and ride his bike with. And so he knew that he had some friends that were indoor friends and some friends that were outdoor friends. He also had school friends and home and out of school home friends, and that's okay. In our lives, we have different groups of friends that we may lean on for different things, and our children may find the same that same dynamics as they're in school and meeting people. So helping them understand what they want in a friend, what is okay for a friend, to how it's what's the appropriate way for a friend to treat them, and therefore how they should be treating friends. And if they're uncomfortable, give them an out. Give them a way to get out of a situation that they're not comfortable with, where they can still kind of save face, because kids worry about the impression that they leave with others. So giving them an opportunity to get out of a situation that they might be uncomfortable with, and then regrouping with them and understanding, like, is that a real friend if you're going to be uncomfortable about the situation that you're in with them? Is that a real friend that picks on you when you do something, right? Or is that a real friend that goes and does the goofy thing and accepts when you don't want to hang out, or will just sit in a room with you and be there? So again, understanding the different types of friends, and helping them find the people that are right for them. And not everybody has to be your friend. You don't need a huge group of friends. You just need the right friends. Big topic for parents, and my next two topics kind of gel together, right? One is routines and the other is, time management, scheduling work and life and work and play for our kids and work and homework. But let's first start talking about routines. You can set up a routine for anything, right? It could be a sleep routine. It could be a morning routine. It could be a, what are you going to do after school routine? It could be a playtime routine. And the key to routines, especially for your school age children, is getting their buy-in and letting them build that routine. Asking them, what do you feel like you need to be doing? And letting them write it down. They may be like a really detail-oriented child that's like, at 8:30, I'm going to do this. And at 9 o'clock, I'm going to do this. And 9:15, I'm going to do this. That's great. Or they may just be like, here's the 4 things I'm going to do after school. And that's great. But it has to be their list. It has to be their routine that they need to live by. And you can obviously have influence if it's a bedtime routine and they're like, I'm going to put on my pajamas, I'm going to, listen to this book, and then I'm going to go to sleep. It's like, what about brushing your teeth? What about maybe setting out the clothes for tomorrow, or rechecking, checking that you did all your homework, whatever that is. So you can influence it, but you really need their buy-in. One of the most wonderful things that I think about having a routine or a routine chart is that you take yourself out of that role of going, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And then it just becomes, what's next on your routine, right? What else is on your list of things to do when you get home from school? Have you done all of them? You become less of that naggy parent and more empowering them to manage their lives. Because as our kids get older, we have less and less control. As a mom of a 19 and 17-year-old, I have much less control when they were 9 and 7. And that's the way I want it to be. I want them to be individuals and self-reliant, and they need to learn these things. So allowing them the process of building the routine and practicing it and making it happen and being successful or learning from the mistakes is exactly what you want to be raising strong, independent human beings. So let the routine chart be the guide. Make sure they have things on there, right, that you feel are important. Make sure they are buying into it. And like I said, this really rolls into the next topic of time management and scheduling work and life. My daughter is an enthusiastic student and gets involved in a lot of different activities. And I said to her, she's a senior this year, and I said, what are some of the outside activities that you have? And there were about 10 to 12 different things. And I was like, there's 7 days a week. And you have school, and you're looking at colleges. There's a lot going on, and you're trying to work, a lot going on. So how do we manage that time? Because you also need to sleep, you need to socialize, you need to have some downtime, you need to do schoolwork, you need to do these extracurriculars. how do you manage that time? And by putting things on the routine chart or talking through with your child, maybe the priorities of things, maybe there are things that we could drop off this list, or, are they seasonal? So you don't have to be doing them all at once, or what are they willing to give up in place of something else that they really want, but understanding what works for them and really showing them the constraints of a day, right? You have to sleep. Kids need way more sleep than they're getting, but they have to sleep. Then they have to be at school. There's time that they have to eat, right? Everybody needs a little downtime to decompress, whether that's right after getting home from school or right before bed or a break in between. And so really showing them that when they get home from school, it might look like they have all day to take care of all of these things, but you lose a lot of time by doing so many activities. So working out with them how much time there is in a day, the things that have to get done, and then looking at the things that they want to get done and understanding where all of that's going to fit, and then put that into the routine chart, right? I think the most important thing that you can share with your child as they go to school is that you're there for them. So when they get home from school, instead of, and I'm absolutely guilty, I used to do this all the time, like, how is school? What do you have for homework? Right? Those were like my two questions. And how is school was always good. And what do you have for homework? And they would tell me all the things that they have for homework. And I started to realize that that's probably all my kids think I'm concerned with is, what do you have for homework? As opposed to being concerned for them, right? So I started asking when they were younger, tell me 3 things that really made you smile today at school, right? Who did you sit with at lunch? Did anything funny happen? Did anything sad happen, right? What was your favorite part of the day? Really broadening that communication with them, not asking them questions that, even if they're not yes or no questions, our kids can turn them into yes or no, or good or nothing, or no, or not now, mom, kind of stuff. But trying to open up the question with, tell me whatever, right? Share with me something, ... And then after there's like a calm down period, de-stressing, kind of laugh, talk about what's going on. Hey, what do you have to take care of tonight, right? Do you have any extracurricular activities? Do you have an exam tomorrow? Do you have a paper you need to write? Do you have time to relax? And what do you want for dinner, right? And just kind of being a little more broad in all of the questions, because we as parents are always going to have a lot of questions, but our kids have just been overwhelmed with a whole bunch of school. So being broader, taking that softer, gentler touch, making sure that you're taking a moment to like have a connection with your child. And as part of that, it's giving them the attention that they need. One of the things that I do is, as soon as my kids come into like our living room area, a family room, I pause the television if I'm watching it, or I put my phone down and just like turn and look at them. And they're like, what? I'm like, I don't know. Do you have anything to say? You may have something to say. And I just want to make sure like I'm totally open to hear it. So when my kids come home from school, like I stop everything and I greet them, right? Maybe I'll go meet them at the door. Maybe I won't. But when they come in, I'm going to ask them these kinds of questions. Still at 17 as a senior, she's going to get these questions, tell me something that like really happened, like exciting happened today. Like, who's in your class, right? What was this teacher like? Kind of drawing out some information, but really giving them that attention without me being distracted by work or whatever I have going on, right? Make that connection with your child the earlier you can do it, the longer in their life they'll feel it, but it's never too late to do that, right? It's always a good time to make a connection with your child. Those are the tidbits that I have for you today. My name is Caryn Azemoun. I just want to thank the Levittown Library for always putting on these wonderful programs, for really showing their continued support for their patrons of the library and their parents within the community. I'm so honored to continue to work with them. Happy school days, everyone. Best of luck. Bye.